you trying to get crazy with this thing? Don't you know I'm loco?
They snapped some photos. I remember on the way in there, they snapped some photos real quick of us.
Of you.
Of me, Tim, and Milo, because we're the only three people they didn't have photos of. But they were really adamant about getting it on this big digital billboard. Shout out to the billboard boys. You know what I mean?
If you ain't on a giant LED somewhere in a foreign city, I don't know how big you're doing it, but you wasn't doing it that big.
Yeah.
What's happening, everybody? This is Bobby Ruiz, a.k.a. Bobby Tribal. And once again, it's time for that.
Low Left Podcast.
He did it.
I'm still trying to fuck with the... Oh, sorry. Mess with the sound levels.
Yeah, that's kind of... We're trying to get that new intro down.
Yeah,
so
well...
Johnny sometimes is like looking in the air.
Looking
in another direction.
I'm looking at the sound waves. I'm making sure it's not peaking or anything like that. I'm actually like... I got a big head, so... I think a lot.
There we go. But we're back, and I know we kind of lag sometimes. It's just because we've been busy. This is that busy time of year where we're trying to get ready for all the holiday madness around here. Today is actually Black Friday. I don't know when you're gonna hear this.
Why is it gotta be black?
I think he's
historically it's Black Friday. So,
Brown Friday.
Yeah.
Brown. This is the okay, but we got a lot full of homies, vendors. Who's out there? We got. Servants is here. Westside Love is here. Persuade and Bunny Kitty are here. The Emo Brown podcast people are here. Chicla's here. Teen Angel's here. Destino's here. Silk Cloud's here. And our DJ Artistic is down there. And then I know did I say Teen Angel already?
You did.
Who am I missing?
David.
I thought I saw Mike Giant on the DJ.
Oh yeah, Mike Giant. How am I gonna forget Mike?
Mike
Mike Giant's down there getting his DJ on, selling good. You should those posters. He's got them cheap today.
Trying to get my way down there. Right
now. And then we have some special guests here from. Everybody's special around here.
Yeah, I think you guys both been in these seats before, though, right? But you've been on the podcast.
Yeah, but not at the same time.
No.
Yeah,
Billy Buff guy will be last time.
Oh, you had Buff and you had Buff? You guys both had Buff?
Yeah.
So Buff's done it twice. Shout out.
Shout out to the servants.
Carlos. And we'll just leave the Buff thing alone. We're just going to leave that one where it is because that's kind of, yeah. But anyways, so about maybe over a month ago?
I would say over a month ago.
A little over a month ago, a large group of us, and if you follow any of us on social media or some of the people around us or tribe or whatever, you know that there was like 11 of us. Is that what it was?
Yeah, just about it. Yeah.
11. You got to get closer, Mike, though, Billy.
A little closer.
There was 11 of us that we did, which usually our annual trip to the Philippines for the Dutdutan convention. This year, we had to take a break because of COVID, so this was the first time back. And what a crew! Who was on the crew, Billy? Who was that?
Great time.
Who was the crew? Can you remember all the crew?
I couldn't remember everybody.
Come on,
It was
man.
me.
Okay.
Carlos
Oh yeah.
Macias,
Okay.
Steve-O.
Okay.
You had Isaac, your son Isaac,
Uh-huh.
Silk Cloud. You had Uncle Tone, Tim, Pistolas.
Pablo
Who else?
Pistolas.
Pablo Pistolas. Can't forget Don.
Herman. Keep going.
You, Bobby.
All right.
That was
The other Isaac.
Isaac Tattooer.
Yeah, that's the other Isaac. Milo was out there.
Milo.
was out there.
And
Yeah, we had a good crowd. We had a very good crowd.
Yeah. No, it was a real
I think that makes a lot when you go with a trip and you have a group of guys. If it clicks, it clicks.
And it did.
And it did.
Yeah.
So it made the big difference.
The click clicked.
Yep.
But it was a lot of you guys. It was, and we were out there. First things first is I got to give a huge amount of love and respect, and shout out to Wilfred C., who's the big boss out there. He's the one that makes all the arrangements, calls the shots, decides, just everything out there. He's the boss, and he's the big boss. He's the one that is overwhelmingly hospitable and treats us like what?
Like
Carla?
royalty.
Yeah.
It was they always roll out the red carpet and go beyond our expectations. But also the man Dondi, who was the host with the most,
Sir Dondi.
The taxi drivers.
the drivers,
The chauffeurs.
Arvin, Jet,
Yeah.
Alfie, everybody that was a part of the crew, Kenji, John, just the whole crew out there. And I'm always amazed by the shit that they do. Like even this lower left location, the one that we saw in Manila. Since then, they're just about to open the second one.
Wow.
But just the lower left in Manila is basically a lower left concept like we have here. Multiple brands. But this one is mostly it's Servants, Silk Cloud, Destino, Tribal, and the lower left products out of there. What do you think of that store, Carlos?
That store was badass. It was amazing.
Huh? It was cool.
It was cool. The setup, everything about it
Oh,
was pretty cool.
Wheat. How are we gonna forget Wheat, dog?
Wheat.
Oh, yeah.
Wheat. Shout out Wheat,
Yep.
man. I didn't forget you, dog. I'm gonna blame Billy for
So everyone does.
for that for
It's all right.
for that one. But
Look for me.
it was did you said Tone already, right?
Yeah.
Uncle Tone. Who's here? He's over there trying to work on my documents for this Japan trip we're about to leave on Monday.
Oh, you guys are leaving already, huh?
Yeah, Monday we're
Nice.
out again. We're going to Tokyo. But that should be cool too.
What are you guys going for?
Migs for the shop. Moon Eyes. The big Moon Eyes show. It's been shit. That's the last time I was out there was for Moon Eyes. So we got a booth out there at Moon Eyes, and there's Migs, Tone, Ames, and myself are rolling to that. So it should be a real good time, and we've got great people there as well. But I feel I got an echo.
You got an echo?
Yeah. Kind of. Is yours kind of echoey?
No.
No. All right. There. That's better, I think. So, anyways, we're gonna do our best to kind of just go over some what did and then Steve-O's coming in here in a minute. Tone's coming in here in a minute, and who else is in the building that went with us today? That's it, right?
That's it.
Okay. So that's 5 of us. We'll go with Billy first. What were you expecting in the Philippines, and what was it like upon arrival, and just everything that you experienced, like upon getting there those first 24 hours? Like,
Honestly,
what did you think?
I didn't know what to expect. This was literally my first time out of the country. I've always been in trouble since a kid, so when this trip I heard was coming up, all my stuff has been cleared. So I went and got my passport, and I didn't know what to expect. I've heard about these trips over the last couple of years by different artists.
People that have gone before.
Yeah, before us, we had gone with Tribal. So, yeah, it was a total experience just from the people.
What were the people like?
Very nice.
Like the people in general. I mean, not just our crew and the people.
No,
that
so much,
our team.
so much respect. They value, like, if you have tattoos, they even respect you even more. And they were just all around nice. They all
What
spoke
would they
English.
say about your tattoo?
Nice tattoo.
About
Nice tattoo.
how many times do you think you heard that out there?
Probably off 50.
That's it.
Yeah,
More than
50, maybe.
Right.
Huh?
That's 50, like just walking around Boracay in one day.
Yeah, it was a trip. That trip blew my mind. I have a different perspective on a lot of things because of that trip.
Yeah.
And now I'm just thankful we went. I was able to go with a good crew. Thanks, Bobby. Carlos came with us, and we had a good time.
So that was your first time out of the country?
Yeah. First time out of the country.
So he just said fuck it and took a 15-hour flight.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's way to start slow.
Yeah.
And
So-
then what do you think of the store and everything we did out there, or beyond just the store is just all the like the LED screens and the billboards and all that kind of stuff.
They have a pretty good marketing out there.
It's kind of pretty good. Huh?
Oh, at least to say that, you know what I mean? Like,
it's amazing. Is kind of like,
Yeah,
I think that's the
they
word.
they blow things out of proportion like it should be.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool to see all the photos and stuff on the billboards to promote the lower left and to promote Tribal and Servants and all of the crews that were out there. It was pretty amazing.
Was there a picture of you on the side of a building?
There might have been.
What did you think when you saw that?
I wasn't expecting that at all. I didn't know they had that up there, so I was pretty blown away by seeing that up there at the time. And they're so good that there was a couple guys with us that weren't on the billboard, and they took a photo of them of that day, and the next night or the same day their photo was on the billboard. Wow, we were tripping out on that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The guys that they didn't have photos of. I think it was Tone, Milo, and Tim.
Yep.
Oh,
And then-
Milo was like a movie star out there on stage. Remember?
No, that was on stage that was Tone that got out there and did all that kind of stuff. But what about you, Carlos? Because you've traveled a lot. You've been, how many Asian countries have you gone to?
That was my second one.
What was the first?
Taiwan.
So what'd you think of this trip and upon arriving and just everything, what that experience was like?
It was an amazing trip, amazing time. I do hear Nickel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must be that side of the table. Then.
I don't know, I can't explain.
Must be the older side.
It was a good, thankful experience to be out there and and enjoy it. It was the people were great. The people that accepted us, your crew out there, it's their hospitality was amazing.
Yeah. What did you guys think of, man, we got to get Tone's ass in here. Cause I know I'll probably have to slow his ass down.
Oh, he was announcing good, man, when we were on stage.
Yeah.
That dude, second nature right there.
What'd you think of, we went out there for the show that we do every year it's called Dutdutan. I know it's kind of hard for some people to understand or pronounce or whatever, but it'll grow on you. It's the largest tattoo music convention in Asia. It's a 2-day event. It's in the World Trade Center, which is the biggest venue in Manila. People come from all over Asia. People were there from Australia, from Europe, different parts of the world, excuse me. So bands, mostly local bands, this was the first year that there was some hip hop in Dutdutan, because it's usually just rock and metal bands. There's no like hip hop at all, but this was the first year they brought in hip hop acts, and shout out to Glock 9, who's like the OG out there, who's just, you guys remember that performance? He's super sick. They've got some real sick hip hop artists out there that are just now really getting more exposure. But this show is, it blows my mind every year. The production, the sound system, just everything that they do with the stage production, what's on those LEDs. And then there's tattoo booths everywhere, and, food and drinks and all that kind of stuff. But that was the primary reason for the visit, that 2-day show. From the lobby, just everything is just insane. And shout out to Arvin, because him and Jet, I think, are like the masterminds behind it. And then they have a great production crew, people that do the sounds and stage production and thing like that. But have you ever seen anything like that, Carlos?
Nah, man, that was by far one of the best conventions I've ever done, and I've done them pretty much all over the world.
It was crazy, huh? Well, it was loud.
Loud. But the music presence, without it, it's not a show without music.
No.
Yeah.
No
What about that lower left pop-up they had in the corner?
Oh, that was bad.
That 2-story
Oh,
building.
yeah. It was a building. It was
Yeah.
like a whole installation of
Upstairs, downstairs. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, so you could go up on top and you could kind of overlook the whole event. That's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
And then not just that, like the lechon and all the catering, that we had our own VIPs, where that was a whole other level of.
A whole nother level.
Food was great.
But it looked like it was a formal dining room almost.
Oh, it did.
Did.
They bring in like the the pig.
I think that's where you were at all night, weren't you?
I was kind of hiding in there as much as I could. I spent a lot of time just kind of because it's hectic, man. Even just walking around there, it gets a little bit hectic. Walking from there to the booth,
of course.
and then just it's crazy. It's crazy. It's not a bad place to get stuck,
Oh.
And then you tattooed out there, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
How many T-stars do you think you did?
Oh, handful of them. More than enough to where I can figure out how to do the T-star without.
You stayed busy.
Yeah, Steve-O. And who did you do a face or a neck or Steve-O did that?
Steve-O did a face shot of a T-star on that one tattooer.
On the side of his face?
Yeah.
And
Pretty
then
big one, too.
on homegirl's up on her like temple. Yeah, that was crazy. And then you guys
Who was bringing in all your T-stars? Just wondering.
My buddy named Billy.
what were you doing?
Just going on and bringing clients in from.
What were you telling them?
Hey, T-stars.
Ready for your T-star?
That's it.
And it
Come on,
worked.
let's go.
You know what? Everybody was ready for the T-star.
Was there a language barrier or everyone?
Everybody spoke English out there.
Yeah.
Pretty good English.
What about what did you think of Jesse? The dude who was helping in the booth,
Oh, he was amazing.
the assistant.
Yeah, he break down, set up. He was quick. He was on top
What
of
was
things.
what? So the thing about Jesse is Jesse's been coming to help us for about the last 3 years, and we tripped out when we show up and there's this dude. They're like, "Oh, this guy's gonna be assisting the tattooers in the booth." Thing about Jesse is Jesse doesn't have any hands. He doesn't have hands and at all, like not even any part of a hand. So he's got 2 arms. I think one is slightly longer than the other, maybe just below the elbow, right?
Yep.
So maybe 3/4 arms, something like that. But so go ahead. So Jesse,
He break down, set up faster than most apprentices could do. He was quick.
and he'll pick up with his.
Oh, he'll drop paper towels, pick them up, razor blades, pick them up.
Did he have prosthetics or? Just,
No, just stubs.
Damn, that's how you adapt.
He was
right?
quick.
With the T-star
really good.
tatted on one of them.
Yep.
So Jesse's amazing, dude. And then what he does with just the caps, like for ink caps, like watching him. Does he fill those? Or was he just picking them up?
He was picking them up. I believe if you need some ink, he's gonna fill it up.
Would he do like cellophane and everything?
Everything.
No shit.
Everything.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I should have. Well, we had a videographer with us. We're still waiting on that video, right?
Yep. I believe so.
I'll check with him. I might know who he is.
Might know a guy.
Yeah, that would have been a nice little thing, just to like a feature on Jesse.
Yeah.
Like
definitely.
how amazing this kid was, and I think Tone brought him some stuff, or whatever it was, but yeah, that was kind of an amazing 2 days of just, and then that, whatever. But then we went to the malls and checked out. What'd you think? Was the Philippines what you had imagined? Like the malls, the hotels, the streets, just the whole vibe out there. Obviously the people are amazing and kind and nice and welcoming, and they go beyond whatever just to accommodate or make sure that we're comfortable. But was it what you were expecting, or?
It wasn't what I was expecting. Like I said, I wasn't sure what to expect. But the first day we fly in, we unpacked, and I think we went downstairs right to the mall, and we went to go get a haircut.
Oh yeah,
But it wasn't just a haircut. As they shaved their head, they would shave their face, manicure, pedicure. They started cleaning your ears out and scraping them.
Did you
looking
have the
for
little
wax.
fish on your feet?
No, I didn't have any fish. No. But
That could have been arranged.
that was the first time I've ever had, something like that, being pampered like that. And it felt good.
Yeah, it's the first.
We all did it. So everybody got their nails done and their feet, everything.
What was getting the inside of your, not just the outside?
It's the inside of
your
they go in there and they try to dig out wax.
And
She
what-
wasn't happy with me because I didn't have any.
Oh, really?
She got happy when she would find wax. She would call it gold. She's like, I'm looking for gold. She's like, I want gold. She even mentioned somebody's name. She's like, I want him back because he came back. He always has extra gold for me. He didn't come this year though.
Big Tiny?
Yes.
Yeah, Tiny. I told Tiny, remember that scene in Shrek when Shrek pulls the earwax out of his ear and makes a candle?
She was asking for Big Tiny.
Yeah, Tiny. Tiny's been out there quite a bit with us, and he's well known in all these spots, so they all remember him. But I guess they pulled out a candle from.
Oh, like Milo this time. They pulled out a candle out of Milo.
Yeah, I think she didn't finish.
No.
She was like,
you have to go to the doctor, she said.
Yeah, man. I always, but it's like a.
It's like a dentist, like scraper.
It's like a dental. It looks like a dental tool, and then they use a light and they go in.
That's a trip.
It feels like they're scratching the inside of your head.
Yeah,
like it feels like they're scratching
an itch you can't get,
right? But it feels kind of good.
Oh, it feels real good.
And they're like all up in your, like close to your. They got to be on your eardrum.
In your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in your brain.
And then what? And so we did that, and then, but I mean, as far as the city and just everything,
the city was hectic. That driving
and clean.
It was, but the driving, I don't know how they drive out there, bro. We had some good drivers, very good. There is no lanes,
yeah,
no stoplights. Might see one stoplight, but man, our drivers are incredible.
Yeah, we definitely
gave me anxiety and.
Just is it like Tijuana or like worse than Tijuana?
Worse than TJ, bro. Yeah. It's like, but
our driver was an ambulance driver outside of of driving us around.
Look who made it. Look at this guy,
Mr. Steve-O.
Mr. Steve-O. No, we're just answering some. So it's Steve-O's was out.
So
there.
I'm gonna step out and let Steve-O slide in.
Okay. Last time Steve-O was here, you weren't sure on if you were gonna go or not.
No, I knew I was gonna go.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
He didn't know about the Japan one.
Oh, the Japan one.
Yeah. So we were talking about just they're downstairs. We were talking about this was how many times you been overseas?
Just that one.
That was it.
Yeah, I never been out of the country.
So what was that experience like? Like when was it what you expected? What was that experience like? Like when you arrived and just the whole vibe and just everything that you experienced, like those first couple days before Dutdutan.
No, I feel like it wasn't what I expected at all. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Just like the way we got picked up and how they treat you out there and everything. All that part was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And the way they drive out there, they're fucking crazy as fuck, dog.
We're talking about that.
What was crazy about it?
Like it just all works. Like there's fucking...
There's no structure, but it works.
No structure, yeah. Like all the cars are smashing. There's like a million bikes around, fucking looking like they're gonna get clipped at any minute, and like it just all works.
I imagine it's like a big mosh pit where you just gotta jump in and then you just go. Yeah. You just moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. That was probably the craziest thing I feel like, or part of. I don't know. I guess yeah.
That was the craziest part of the whole trip.
Nah. Like
what was the crazy to you? What was the craziest part of the whole trip?
Oh shit, I don't know.
Was it seeing your ass up there on like that?
That was crazy. Yeah, all the billboards and shit was pretty crazy.
Giant LEDs that are.
Yeah,
how tall you think those are?
I don't even know. The 20-story buildings or something. You know,
they're pretty crazy. I don't think it's. I think it's probably like.
The ones there, you talking about the one that we went and took pictures at, or the ones in the Manila like downtown area?
No, the one that with the big ones.
Those ones I feel like are like 20 stories. The ones we took pictures at was probably like a 5-story building or 4-story building.
You were tripping. Everybody I think was tripping because everybody popped up on that shit, right?
Yeah.
I think they were big.
Yeah, they were big for sure. Bigger than I thought they were going to be.
Was that the craziest shit?
I feel like that and the convention. That was also the first convention I've ever done. So it was just all new to me, you know? The convention was pretty crazy. I didn't think it was going to be that fucking loud in there.
That's what we were saying.
That shit was loud as fuck, yeah.
How many T-stars did you end up doing?
I only did 2. But they were both faced ones, so
Those are the ones that count, huh? Right there.
What was what do you mean? What was so crazy about it? The convention?
I just never
the
worked
size
a
of it, or
convention.
the
like the size of it, and it's like so different than out here. I feel like, I don't know, like the music for sure is as loud as fuck,
heavy,
and, like insane. Where we were this close to each other and barely could hear each other. You're like yelling to talk in the booth, you know. That, and then just I don't know, everybody coming up and trying to take pictures and shit. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, how many pictures? You took a couple pictures?
More than a couple. Fuck. It was like every couple steps you took a picture. I feel like somebody would run up and be like, "Oh," blah, 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 and then give their phone to their girl or whoever, and then they, take pictures and shit.
Well, you kind of stand out. You're a little bit different. A little bit different out there. I don't think they get many people that look like you out there. That could have been it.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Yeah, maybe. So what about just the people and everything like that? And what'd you think of the lower left out there?
That was dope. The lower left was sick. Yeah, that shit was sick. It was crazy too how like the kids are all running up and people are running up trying to ask for stuff through the door and all that, Like that shit was crazy. But the inside was dope. The way they have it set up and everything is sick. Because they're going to have one tattooer and then one barber right there, right?
Yeah, I think that dude I forgot his name, the guy who tattooed his face.
Yeah.
I think he's tattooing in there already.
Yeah, that's what I seen him posting is that. But I think when we were there, though, they had like the barbershop pole.
Yeah, they think they're going to put the barber in the other room.
Yeah.
So it'll have tattoos, barbers, and then the whole clothing thing in there.
Yeah, that was sick. And I liked how it was like segregated everybody's shit, like Herman's shit.
Oh, you got sick a little bit out there, huh?
Oh, yeah, sick as fuck, man.
From what? The food or just the...
Nobody knows, man.
McDonald's.
Nah. You think so?
Yeah.
That was 2 a.m. McDonald's.
You got sick twice out there, huh?
Yeah. The second time was just like a sore throat, but I think it's just because the ACs in that resort we were at or whatever. That shit was cold as fuck.
You almost didn't make Boracay.
Yeah.
You were ready to bounce, and we were like, no.
That's Carlos. Carlos told me not to. I thought I was dying. I didn't want to get you sick either. I was more big time, or like a big part of it was I was thinking about you. I was like, fuck, I'm
don't want to get that dude sick.
Yeah, because I was dying, bro. And you're older, so there's an age.
That was an indirect insult.
Whoa. Yeah, but obviously a lot stronger because I got sick 0 times.
Yeah, I guess so. Fuck.
But I think, but a lot of it is you got to know when you go on trips like this. I think it's what to consume and what not to consume.
Yeah,
you don't go in there and I don't know. There's certain countries where I'm cool. I don't think I've ever gotten sick to my stomach in Europe. Oh, once I did because I ate some tartare in Paris, and that raw ground beef stuff. Yeah. That did not sit well. But besides that, I don't think I've ever got sick out there. In Japan, I'm usually cool too. But Mexico, I've been real sick, and then in the Philippines, I learned my lesson real quick. And it's at all costs avoid the water. Like, don't brush your teeth with it. Don't get a salad. Don't get a burger with lettuce, tomatoes, anything like that. Don't get drinks with ice unless you're at some real bougie spot and you're sure that they're using mega filtered water, because all that if they take water out of the sink and they freeze it, you get some of the same shit. But obviously just certain street foods and pork and stuff like that.
I think it was the watermelon, man.
Oh, you were eating a lot of...
fucking went in on the watermelon that morning.
That might have been it.
Like a whole spread of watermelon. Because I don't think it was like McDonald's or some shit.
Yeah, because we're at a nice hotel and stuff. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe the water and the watermelon
they'll get you.
Fucked you up.
I can't think of nothing else that it would be, but I mean, I felt like it was COVID, but I mean, I tested negative twice, so I guess not.
You
Yeah.
still made it to the island, though. That was a good part.
Yeah.
Thanks to him.
What'd you tell him?
Yeah,
He go home or miss out.
Yep.
Nah, he didn't tell me more than that. Obviously, I was already thinking that.
But the thing was, when we landed and that first day, I kept telling all you guys, like, you ain't seen nothing yet. This is just like This is just a little piece of it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Those first couple of days, we went to the lower left. We'd go, go eat, go to the hotel. We'd, go see the tribal stores or whatever it was we were doing, the billboards. And I was like, no, not yet. And then the show hit and Dutdutan was on and the Kraken for those 2 days. And just that's just madness. Yeah. It's crazy, but super dope. I'm most impressed by, the production. Like I've been on music tours. I've been on international music tours with huge bands and I know what it takes to produce a show. But they had so many bands and then they'd go to like different sorts of acts and then another band. And then they'd have the LED screens, like different things on different LED screens that were live. Like they had so much production going on with the lighting, the LEDs, the sound,
and everything was like
the staging. Yeah,
like that. Like the next one would come up, the next band would come, and be like you'd only have like a 30-second break to sit and talk, and then they'd come right back up and start smashing. But,
that was kind of to me that just the production of everything, and then there's some amazing tattooers out there. And I think it's because they don't travel or people don't see them on social media, but there's definitely some world-class tattooers in the Philippines that have been, getting down and doing real sick shit. The trip. So traditionally when we do these trips, they work us what they consider work, which isn't a lot of work, doing the convention and doing press and promo and being out there before Dutdutan. And they're really, they have us do press or promo or visit stores or whatever it is and, go to the salons and get our pedicures and manicures in the inside of our. Did they push it out of your hair?
I don't think I did that. Yeah, no, I don't think. No, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
They find anything?
Nah, she said that mine was like nothing.
Oh, how about you, Tone? Tone just walked in. We're gonna get to him right now.
I'm gonna switch spaces with Tone too. So
okay, get in. You go. All right. So then after we do this convention for 2 days, they give us like a couple days off, like three nights, two, whatever. Couple of days off, and then we go back to work, and then Herman, Isaac, and myself, we stayed to work for a couple extra days. But this time they've taken us to different spots. They've taken us to Bohol, they've taken us to Puerto Galera, they've taken us multiple times to Boracay. The year before this we went to Palawan, and which is by far, in my opinion, the most gorgeous place I've ever been to. It's just ridiculous. So this time they took us to Boracay, and I kind of had an idea of what to expect. And that's kind of what I kept telling these guys, just like, kick back. Like, you're going to see some shit. Did you?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy there. There's like two different worlds from Manila to there. Yeah, it was like two different worlds for sure.
What was that like?
Like it's just like you're in the middle of nowhere, but there's so much going on there at the same time, I think it was crazy too, seeing even tribal shirts walking around there. Like,
yeah, but I think a lot of them were fake.
Yeah, well, that's even crazier. That makes it even.
There's a lot. I think there was a lot of fake shit out there.
Before then, have you ever been anywhere like paradise like that, like Hawaii?
Yeah, Hawaii. Yeah, I've been to Hawaii and I've been to parts of Mexico, but it was on a cruise, so I feel like it don't count.
Right. That was like more intense.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was
like
definitely
raw paradise.
Yeah. Yeah, because only like certain parts of Hawaii will be kind of like that, but that place was like the whole entire place was like that,
Yeah.
Or when we go out on the boat, but I think that was the best.
That was the best part. Yeah,
I think and for me that was like my favorite day of the whole trip because it was just us, it was just the crew, and
the music.
The music. We had DJ Tone up in there just with the music.
At the box the whole time.
Yeah, and then pulling up to that one beach where there was just white sand, crystal clear blue water, and nobody else.
Yeah, nobody.
And not just a couple feet, or like, this was like a huge fucking beach all to ourselves.
Yeah.
With
So all of a sudden, that vendor popped out of nowhere.
yeah, came out of the
Like,
jungle.
Are you guys thirsty?
Oh yeah, where do you even come from?
Yeah,
huh?
where did he come from?
Buy this shark tooth necklace. It was a real legit shark tooth necklace, and my boy just popped out of the jungle.
That shit was crazy. But I'll tell you what. So
Puka Beach,
that's where we're at.
Puka Beach.
Puka Beach.
because they look for the shells with the little holes
The
in
puka
them.
shells.
Puka shells.
So probably the first time I went out there to Boracay was like maybe 15 years ago. And it was with OG Abel, Risk, Carl, and myself. And it was completely like 500 times different than it is now. It was just like
So, like,
solitude.
no houses on
There was like
mountains and all that?
no big houses on the hills, very few hotels. The roads were different. Everything was like, different, unexploited. No bars, clubs, only a few restaurants. It was, and you could go in any direction, and like the beach that we were on, they were everywhere. Like it was just beauty beyond anything. And then within the past several years, they started bringing in flights from different parts of Asia. I think there's flights from Hong Kong and Seoul. And so then they changed the airport. The airport where we landed, I had never seen before. This is a whole new airport. And then, bigger hotels came in. I don't know if we've seen it, but there is a Starbucks there. There's a McDonald's there. There's like, some of the big franchises have moved in, and a lot of those beaches, kind of like the one we went to, are becoming a little less accessible. And I think for that reason, you're finding more people kind of venturing off into Palawan and places like that are looking. But Boracay is definitely, I thought it was the right place for this crew, because it was kind of like, if you wanted to go do something at night, or you wanted to go have a drink, you wanted to go out, you want to go to a restaurant, you want to do whatever you want to do, you could do it. And then in the day, there was, we went snorkeling, jumping off the boats, going to the beach. You could have went
Snorkeling was
stuff
sick,
that we
too.
just passed on. We didn't want to do, but there was a lot to do. But before we go any further, I'm going to introduce the homie Tone. Tone,
What's up?
yeah, we tried to do one of these before.
Oh, it was a mess.
Yeah.
See that there's way less alcoholic beverages
Yeah.
here this time.
So last time we had tried to do a rap on the Europe trip that we had did,
yeah.
and there was too much alcohol,
was
and
too
now
much.
we couldn't even put it out. I think it was over 2 hours long.
It was worse than the Edmar one.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, that
This one
all
was
fucked up.
nuts. This one was like, it just because we had you, Bert, Tim, Isaac,
Oh,
and
fuck.
myself. Like, but it was the whole trip was. That was
But we was
probably
too
that was
fake
that was
before
one
we
of
came
yeah
in.
that was
We came
probably
in
one of
hot.
that was probably one of the most amazing Europe. That was probably one of my best European trips
That was a great trip.
that I had been on. But
But the Philippines trip, though.
yeah,
Jeez.
so Tone is actually, we're leaving on Monday. He's part of the Japan crew.
Mo nice.
Yep, that's right. Going out there for Moon Eyes. But he's he has all kinds of different projects. He works with AP. He works with Show Your Roll. He does Rice or Death. He has a new project called what's it called? The
Highland Ave Supply Company.
Highland Ave Supply
Little
Company.
neighborhood bodega.
He
Actually, Bob, you helped us inspire. He was one of the idea creators when we were making Highland Ave Supply Company, little bodega.
we don't know what to do there. What I
Graffiti
don't know. I have
art
no idea
supply,
what we should do.
t-shirts,
And there's
Dago.
kids passing by. They get off school. They walk right by. I said,
So
sell
I got
them
the
some
plug on all the
snacks.
rap snacks now.
Yeah.
I got them all. The rap snacks, I got them in English, Korean, Japanese, and Spanish.
What's a rap snack?
It's
Like
like
wrappers on the bag.
So rappers make their own snacks and sodas now.
Oh, and they collect them. Kids
No,
collect
kids
them.
No,
go
they
in
just
there and
eat 'em.
they flex, eat them. They want the Rasta Big Boss barbecue sauce.
You just made that one. They don't even got that one yet.
do.
Oh, yeah?
do, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you
They have
just.
a Lil Wayne. It's funny because they
Oh,
got
they
Lil
rhyme
Wayne
that
hot
shit?
Cheetos. They got Lil Wayne hot
Little
Cheetos.
Wayne chicken wings.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all kind of serious. When you see it tonight, come by tonight, you see it.
So that's on Highland Avenue. But yeah, so we're gonna leave Europe back there because we tried to share that, but we fucked that one up good.
Yeah.
I think it was tequila. We were just having too much fun during it. Was tequila beer, and it was kind of just a continuation of the Europe trip. Yeah. So that's kind of what I think that. But yeah, that didn't work. So, anyways,
I do a lot of different stuffs.
Yeah. So then, Tone was part of this Philippines crew, and what was was this your first? You've been to PI before?
I've been once. I met Brandon Vera there, maybe about. It was long. It was like 7, 8 years.
Yeah,
for sure.
So what'd you think of this? The first like 24 hours leading up, or day and a half, or whatever we had before the show. What was that like?
It was cool. It was, I'm very familiar with Filipino culture because I'm originally from Guam, and a lot of Filipinos. I grew up with a lot of Filipinos. And so their food's very familiar. Our diets are very familiar. We look the same. There's a lot of commonality. So it felt, I don't feel out of place when I'm there. I kind of assimilate real quick. Whereas maybe someone coming from somewhere else who've never seen a metropolitan like that or a city like that, it's a little bit of a shell shock. For me going in there, it's like
Tone looked the most comfortable out of everybody. Tone's running through the mall with a speaker on his shoulder, bumping. You don't give a fuck. Tone is the most comfortable out of everybody for sure.
We're already get the pass, and somewhere like that, it's almost like we're just making fun of it today. That you feel like a rock star. You kind of have to act like a rock star too, and you have to accept the role because. Otherwise, you kind of bum them out. They're like
overhyped almost.
There's an expectation
Yeah,
when you get there. Yeah.
So when we got there, it was.
That's a good way to put it, dog. Because it's you have to accept it, and it's not like
It'd be like if you were turning down the photos
and remaining humble, and it's a new experience. It's a new experience for a lot of us, and I've kind of felt that way for the last several or more times that I've been out there. Is I'm not used to that shit. Like I'm not used to going to Starbucks and stopping for photos and taking pictures and signing autographs and doing stuff that I do quite a bit on these types of trips. But you kind of get a little taste of what it's like, and based on that taste and my experience with my friends that are extremely famous, I don't want to be like crazy. Fucking,
that was kind of hard. It's kind of hard
that's not me, dog.
Because Tribal, I mean, it's the biggest, literally, out of all the clothing brands. And I mean, they have everyone there. There's the Nikes. It's like Tribal is their flag brand. It's the country's flag. It's Manila's. It's the Filipinos' flagship brand that they fuck with more than everything. They may wear Nikes and this and that and all the other high street brands that we all know. But they fuck with Tribal hard. From the old taxi cab driver to the young kid all the way down. Like there was really it was a trip to see what demographic was wearing it. But then when you see the store and you see how they identify with the brand, you understand why. They've really taken it and made it a piece of their identity. So these kids, when they come up, they come up to a Tribal guy. They don't know what our association to Tribal is, but they're excited to show us their Tribal tat. I mean, they even go harder. These people, girls with tats on their face, are Tribal T stars. It was amazing.
Yeah. Elbows.
I mean, to feel that, and then I could see where you feel the humility there for someone like Bob, who started this way back in the day here in San Diego, and then it's gone that far, and they're celebrating it out there hard, like this shit just dropped last week, like hard. It was cool. It was really cool. It's dope to see your friend's brand that big. You just wish that it was everywhere, but. Over there, they have the right pieces. They have the right team, the right amount of media behind it,
the right market,
right market, and from the ground, they planted the seed, and they in a certain way with a certain type of people. and it is street culture there. It is the streetwear brand. There is no other brand, high street or whatever, that comes close to Tribal there. That was pretty amazing to see.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a trip.
And their articulation and curation of it is to a high standard.
Yeah,
Like,
man. Like from just advertising, just the, just everything, the layouts in the stores. People say, "Hey, you guys, Tribal has a bunch of stores in the Philippines." I'm like, "Yeah, we got about 50 stores out there," something like that. And I always clarify, but they're not like bullshit stores. They're not like, like you got like the Guess store, the Nike, and these are all in the same mix. Like, and then you got the New Era store, and then you got the Tribal store mixed in with all those types of stores to give you an idea of the caliber of design and store and just where our brand's out there. And again, it's the team out there is fucking insane. The resources, the resources, and I think W. Wilfred had the foresight, the eye. It came in at the perfect time. They knew which market they were going to go after. Dutdutan is a big part of that market. Like, that's their event. There was another event called Pulp Summer Slam, and then Dutdutan, and then, bands that tour. But this is like that event that is kind of just celebrating the culture, lifestyle, tattoos, music,
hardcore music,
art. Yeah.
They try to sprinkle other shit in there, but it's really for the hardcore.
This is the first time that they had some hip hop in it, and the hip hop. I mean, shout out to, like I said before, Glock 9.
And a little old school though.
Yeah.
Old school. Yeah. Arnel Pineda made an appearance. Yeah. That was dope.
Yeah.
Had the girl rappers too. That was dope.
Oh yeah,
the girl rappers were sick.
Rappers there.
Yeah.
Or like there'll be a group of 3 of them or whatever. That shit was dope.
Yeah. No, they get down, but it is a trip, like you said, to see it out there doing what it's doing, and we're hoping that, and they, like I said, the team's fucking insane.
It was cool to see Isaac's brand Silk Cloud, and Herman's brand Destino, and Servants out there, and their articulation, how they actually made the lighting, and they did the store in-store displays was dope. Yeah,
there's standalone lower left stores out there too. The majority of the Tribal stores out there are in malls and things like that. But yeah, I think it's cool because they had approached me like, we're looking for some young brands. We want to do a lower left out there. So who do you fuck with, and who are your boys and things like that. So they're behind it, as you can see, and they're looking for are you taking off, Steve-O?
Yeah, I gotta go back in the session.
Can you grab Herman?
Yeah, I'll tap somebody else in. Yeah.
All right.
Herman.
Yeah.
One? Yep.
Yeah. Or Herman, and I don't know if you can get Herman and Isaac, but I think both of them are kind of
okay.
All right. But yeah, man. So what was the craziest, or the craziest and the best part of the trip for you, like personally? Because out of everybody that's been on this trip, I think you're probably the person that travels as much as I do, or more than I do over the years, like has traveled a lot.
Sure.
But this was like a whole new fucking.
Well, this, even when you go to a place you've already been with a whole new group, it's a new experience again. This trip, we purposely set it up so I landed a day before you, so we could just acclimate, because I knew your schedule was going to you were going to touch the ground and off into all your itinerary.
Right.
And I thought it was really cool that once they received you, we all linked up for that breakfast, and I conveniently left my cell phone in the taxi.
Nice.
But Dondi.
What about Dondi, dude?
Dondi. Shout out to Dondi.
He's
the
man.
sorter of all sorters got my phone back.
Yep, he is.
Right?
He's since day one. He's been that guy. So it's a trip because, I always use this as an example. Sendog went out there. Sendog and Bobo went out there with me once, or went out for Dutdutan. And to this day, Sen and I are good friends, and he always say, "Hey, what's up with Dondi? How's Dondi doing?" Because Dondi is
some kind of way.
Since I went out there first time, he's always that guy that takes care of us.
Yeah.
As we go out there, but even artists, Abel, everybody knows who Dondi is. So,
but he rallied us all up during the whole trip. But that morning, I remember it was dope. the number one thing on the agenda was to go get everybody looking sharp and tight.
Yeah.
And so we all went to this boutique and we literally cleared it out. They had all the chairs open. There must have been 15 chairs in there, all open with beauticians that were about to do our ears. If you needed a fade, if you needed your eyebrows, the things probably some of these guys don't even do out when we're here.
Pedicure,
manicure, but I'm talking about all the things happening at one time. Like they're not working on your nails, on your toes. Like 4 people are all around you doing stuff. And I thought that was a trip. And Dondi really made it clear. He said if he was going to fuck anybody up who pulled money out of their pocket, because he really wanted that to be his treat. He wanted everybody feeling right. If you needed a massage, hot steam towel on the face. I mean, I still had the radio bumping, playing all kinds of music in there. And I think that one of the ladies pulled a beetle out of my ear or something, but I was afraid to look at it.
Yeah.
But it was just a really good experience. And you knew from that moment, like if this was day one, hours into even being in, under the care and the host of Tribal Philippines, that we were about to take off.
That's what I kept telling everybody. That's what I was telling these dudes earlier. It's like, I kept telling you guys, just hold up. You ain't seen much yet.
Yeah.
Like I knew what was in store. And that was the first 3 hours we were already in there doing it like that. And cause they wanted, I think, to get everybody feeling better. And you had just come off a long flight, get cleaned up, get your pedicure, your manicure, your hot towel on your face, your haircut, get a good meal in you.
They snapped some photos. I remember on the way in there, they snapped some photos real quick of us.
Of you,
of me, Tim, and Milo, because we were the only 3 people they didn't have photos of, but they were really adamant about getting it on this big digital billboard. So shout out to the billboard boys. You know what I mean?
If you ain't on a giant LED somewhere in a foreign city, I don't know how big you're doing it, but you wasn't doing it that big.
Yeah, that was really cool. But they were really attentive to us and it really made it feel special, made you feel special. And everywhere you went, people were just very excited to see you. And I think that's probably like the most standout thing. They don't bum rush you, like, oh my God. But they're just really excited to see you. And they even when they shake your hand, they kind of bow and they tell you thank you, for your vibe, for your presence, for showing that we cared. They were excited. A lot of it, I think what it was too is, they deal with a different kind of poverty down there and different hard kind of situation. And so when you think about what COVID did to us out here, what COVID did to them kind of really made it tough for people, really tough there when things were already tough. Yeah. So they were happy to see, happy to be working, happy that we're there, happy that there's an event going on again. Life is coming back. They can work, make money. It was cool. Everyone seemed like on the up and up. And that's what was most, I think, stood out to me as the energy of the people. All the way to Boracay.
What was Boracay like?
Boracay was to me, kind of like Guam, to be honest. It's still rough around that you have all the amenities, little rough around the edges, but it gives it character. The water's crystal blue no matter where you go. I mean, they could tell you that water's polluted, but not in any book, not in any photo, it'll be polluted. The work ethic there of island people there, they work hard, they get up and they hustle. We met a guy in the middle of the water with about 500 coconuts on the front of his boat. This guy must have been the swollest dude I've ever seen in my life. Ever. Maybe 50 Cent on his first album is club. This guy kind of got him.
It was ripped.
He paddles up with a broken paddle, like a shorty one, sitting on the back. I feel like if he got off his boat, it would have flipped over because there were so many coconuts in the front. Paddles up to our big old catamaran, asks if we want some drinks, and then pulls out a machete out of somewhere and just starts hacking out 15 coconut drinks. Chop, chop, with the straw in it. and
while
just started-
sitting on a little kayak.
while balancing on a boat. And I couldn't believe it. But I mean, things like that. These guys were out there really hustling, no excuses. They were out there working. The sun's up, they're out there getting their money. And you got to appreciate something like that, you know. Another day I saw these guys pouring concrete. Big old truck. The dudes with the vests obviously were the official dudes and had they were part of the truck. But the guys that were doing the road, this dude was on slippers and had one 2x4, a long one. And as fast as they could pump that concrete out of the machine into the street, this dude and two dudes in slippers were smoothing it out and fixing the road. I mean, no excuses, you know, and that's dope. That stood out to me the most there everywhere we went. And no one really hogging up on you, but people very excited to see you and still getting on with what they had to get on, you know?
Yeah.
It was really cool. That was cool.
So what was your highlight, you think?
At Boracay?
That one day? No, just in general.
In
Was
general.
it that one day?
I feel like that one day really summed it up. It was like kind of like the grand finale, you know, and when you're at the fireworks show and you see these pop, oh, those are dope. And the ones that do this are dope. But then at the end, when you see the whole thing, and
He's
good.
This guy's good. He
There
brings
was a
it down.
time when we were riding back, and I don't know if you caught it. The music kind of went out, and we were all riding back, and it was after we had passed on. I remember exactly.
We were on the boat?
We were on the boat, on the catamaran. We had passed on doing jet skiing because we were all burnt out. We wanted to go lay down in the pool because everybody's rooms opened up into a
Pool bar.
and we wanted to go hit the pool bar and go back to what was familiar, and we had enough already. This is enough paradise. So jet skis, you're not tonight, not today. You know, it's too much fun.
Yeah, no parasailing, no jet ski. Yeah.
So we after we looked at the pretty fishes, we kind of head back, and it was silent, and it was just like everybody was quiet, but they had this like, you know, that look when you stare into the sunset. You just, you know, you're having a moment to yourself. It was all of us together having a moment to ourselves, heading back to the port that we started off with like 8 hours later. And it was cool. It was like you seen like something different on everybody's face, and everybody that kind of were sitting next to each other was all jumbled up and mixed up, and it was like definitely friendships were made and brotherhood bonds were made right there
And strengthened.
and strengthened right there.
Because I think there was a lot of us that already, a lot of us were already real close going into the trip. Like there was a lot of us that's, and you know, you and I, the European trip, that was, all of us came out as Chucks, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the Chucks. Yeah, that's where the Chucks were founded.
that was on some shit. So,
but that's probably was the highlight, is riding back that moment, riding back, getting back to the hotel, and everybody was just like, we still got one more day here. I can't even believe that was like we can still get it in.
Yeah, it was perfect amount of time.
It was
I think the perfect amount of time in Boracay, but that you nailed it, dude. It's like it was like a fireworks show. They're all dope going up. The whole trip was like, you couldn't believe some of this shit that was happening. And fuck, I can't believe we just did this. Boom, 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 boom. And then at the end, it was kind of something like that. Like that.
The biggest honor though was going on stage and calling all of you guys' name out.
At Dutdutan.
That was an honor just to even like...
For 2 nights.
And the production was all the way that big, you just made you want to go on the stage.
I've said it a couple. How sick was that production?
That production was so sick. And, I mean, they didn't hold back. They pulled everything out. They pull out all the stops, like 3 stages, 2 walkouts, like, underground back entrance. It was just everything. Pyrotechniques.
LEDs.
Bands on each side of the stage so that when one band's playing, the other band can set up and then they don't miss a beat. It's not like change a stage. Like, no, we're not saving any cash here. We're blowing all the cash that we made. And we're going to make this
and
place
the way
epic.
that when it was live and you were seeing 3 different things or 4 different things on 4 different screens.
Yeah.
And then this one would have a logo that would just flip and turn. And then they had a curved LED screen in the middle. Like
they had one dedicated to, while the whole concert shit's going on, there's a model show going on. They're running a tattoo competition, and people are just constantly coming up with a number and like a pageant and showing what tattoo, wherever their tattoo was, showing their piece. And so that competition's rolling, but oh man, it was like a Cirque du Soleil of tattoo is what it felt like. It was,
Yeah,
it
man.
was amazing.
It was on some
And so
shit.
getting on the stage, I was like, give me that goddamn mic. I'm going right up there. One of the guys thought I had a teleprompter.
Yeah.
And no, I probably could cuss less next year, but
Yeah.
that guy who did the
That was
Potami Nimon song got me fired up.
That was a lot of people, Hums.
That was a lot of people.
It was sold out Saturday night. I think it sold out Friday night. Both nights.
No, first night was I think half, and then second night was like 10,000 people.
It was nuts, dude.
Yeah.
It was 10 plus all the workers plus family and friends. So it was like, yeah,
free beer, a full lechon pig in the back.
The VIP was
The
nuts.
VIP food was own bartender. I mean,
It looked like a formal dining table.
I was cute. There was like candles and roses.
Yeah, there
Why
was.
they just go all out just to make sure that
I love
the
those
guys
people,
that come
man.
from the brand
and I
have nothing bad to say, and they really leave you
and
with
I
that.
and I never do, dude. I appreciate them more than they know. I think I see probably more than they know that I see, and I acknowledge that. And
Sure.
they're the best, dude. I could not wish for a better crew. Like I could not wish for a better team, or a better boss out there. You know what I mean? Like Wiki's a shit. And as much as he has all these dudes helping us, and, you know, Alfie
very
and Dondi and Arvin and Jed and Melcher and everybody and his boys, you know, Kenji and John and everybody's, it all comes from Wiki.
And he was
Wiki will
sitting
say,
right there on the last day,
and you see him and
sitting
he
right at the booth
and
watching the show.
and he ain't saying nothing. He's got a little kind of smiley smirk on his face, like he's having a good time. Very low key, very just chilling.
Sure.
But he's a motherfucking boss.
Yeah, the boss.
Like he's a boss, dog. And
well, he get it done for
and
sure.
he's got a style and he's got a vision. He's always had the vision. And from the first time I met that dude, like when Carl and I went out and met him and just kind of sat there with him, and he was very I don't know, like confident, relaxed, and just reassuring at the same time. And I couldn't believe what he was saying. Like he was telling us some shit. I'm like, oh, it sounds good, but I've been, you know, people say all kinds of shit, but every fucking thing that he said, he did. And then some. And now he's, you know, at it again with the lower left out there. So hopefully that's the next move. But that has enabled us, not just what's happening in the Philippines. It's also, you know, everything that's happening with Tribal worldwide is affected by what's happening out there. Like just where I'm learning from them, and I'm just, fuck, man, you guys just did this really cool, you know, we're going to bring some of their interior wallpapers and design and shit and put it up here in the building. And, you know, they're introducing us to, like, we're fucking with some DTF machines and shit now and stuff that we're learning from them. So they're, you know, an integral part, not just of the international business, but Tribal worldwide. Like there's such a pillar to the brand, you know, and I know that. And, it's important that, you know, I see that, I know that, and I have a lot of respect for it. And going out there and seeing the way that they treat not just myself, because some, you know, I'll go out there by myself, or I'll go out there with one other person, somebody I work with, Herman or Isaac or whatever. But to see them, like, I go, hey, some of the homies are coming out here, they're gonna meet us out here, and they just looped you guys right in, like, oh, okay, these are part of the clique, so we're gonna take care of them too. So it was just super, super dope. But my son just walked in, Isaac, who
What up?
he's been out there a couple times. He's the founder of his company Silk Cloud, which has been around since when did you
2012.
2012. So he's got a 10-year-old brand. He started it when he was in junior high or high school.
Dude, I was in 8th grade. I had just turned 14. And then I used all the money for my, like, I had this, like, birthday party. I, like, switched schools, invited, like, damn near everybody. They're like, what do you want? I was like, $20. Like, I used all that money, made a bunch of shirts through the local community college. I, like, sold out. We did, like, I want to say, like, we did close to, like, 100 shirts in a month. Like, sold all of them out. And then, yeah, we just been growing.
Just built from there. So,
Yeah.
what was it like going out there and seeing your brand, like a crew or a team like that? Because obviously we don't have a team that big out here, you know, or the market is so much different out there. Like to push a new brand out here is way more difficult than it is to do it out there, especially trying to get noticed out here, because there's people with new brands every day. There's probably hundreds of people with new brands every fucking day out here, and trying to get recognition amongst that fucking clusterfuck. But how did it feel for you out there to have such a force behind your brand, and seeing it at the lower left, and seeing it, you know, at Dutdutan, and seeing it, you know, on the giant LEDs and things like that? What was that like?
It's, well, like, I think I could say, like, before that, I was, like, scared, like, a little bit nervous. Like, I knew everything was going to be really good, but, like, you don't know what to expect going out there. And then when I saw everything translated, it made so much sense. Like, I was inspired because I would see people come up to, like, our walls, our photos, or shirts, and take pictures with them and, like, get really excited. So then it kind of kicked my ass into gear. Like, I was like, wow, like, this is super inspiring. But also, like, out here, I have to, like, really, it motivated me. And also, I don't know, it's just, like, it's incredible. I'm extremely thankful, but at the same time, like, it's still a lot of work. You still got so much goes into it. You don't realize that. I don't realize it just because I've been doing it by myself for so long. But, like, when there's a team of people doing it, you're like, oh, it takes this many people to run a brand. And then,
I had a question. You know, did you notice everybody at Dutdutan was wearing something of the four brands, right?
Yeah.
How'd you feel about how they styled it and put that on people? Because not knowing the DNA or the brand, right? If someone didn't know it or care, could easily put it on the wrong dude. But I don't feel like they made any mistakes with that. What do you think?
Are you relating to, like, the customer, like the brand or the bands?
The bands. As every band came out, some would have Silk Cloud.
Right.
And
I think what I liked was that they invited these people into the stores, and they said, hey, like, you pick what you want. So, like, when I see, like, a metal band,
there was no stylist.
No, it's like, if
people was just picking what they thought their jam was.
Exactly. And which I like, because there are the younger kids that do, like, rock with my stuff out there, and then there's the older people that rock with it. Like, I mean, older, they're in their 20s, 30s, but, like, it makes sense. It makes sense for all of us, because, like, Servants is going to talk to some, like, through their brand, like, it's going to talk to them, or, like, Destino and Silk Cloud, and, like, I'm like, this makes sense. Like, it's organic, but also it's like, that's how you would want your brand to be represented, right? Like, naturally. I feel like it means more when someone chooses my brand instead of, like,
they just give it to them, like, force it on
a marketing.
Right.
But I think your brand is definitely different than Tribal. Like, your market is definitely different. Your graphics and your direction is different. And I think that's what they were looking for out there. And I think that's what makes it unique. Yeah. You grew up your whole life with Tribal, around Tribal. You work at Tribal. This is where you are at the lower left, but you have your own brand. You have your own look. You have your own style. Like, look at your hair right now. But which is cool, because it's your own shit,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of, and that's, I think that's credible. But being out there and like you said, like, these kids and people, they're pulling the bands and they're taking them to the lower left. They're saying, go pick something, which is cool. They're picking Destino, or they're picking your brand, or Servants, or Tribal, or whatever it is that they're rocking. But Tone made a good observation. Like, not just the people that were performing, the bands, the performers, the hip hop groups or whatever, but in the crowd, like, the people that weren't getting it for free, it was just like, holy fuck.
And that they had that Instagram moment where they were allowing kids. Remember where the two, there was a bomba there in the other car, and you could go up on the top and have an Instagram moment.
Yeah, I took a picture, like, as much as I can. When I saw people, like, take pictures with my wall, I tried to capture, like, that from my perspective, because that made me like reflect a lot. Like, hey, my art is connecting with these people so much to the point where they want to take pictures with it, and, like, I was like, damn, like, that's so cool. And, like, for them, they're excited, but, like, they don't have that emotional connection that I have with the brand, you know?
What was the crew like out there? What'd you think of our crew?
everybody was like so sweet, and like the way I explained
There
it.
were two crews. There was the crew in the Philippines, and then there was a crew that came out there with us.
Oh, the crew that we were with, like the guys we roll with, or the people that took care of us?
Both.
Yeah. I mean, we were with the boys, like everyone that, you know, we're all family, like we all work together, like we're like a brotherhood out here. So I felt really comfortable with like everybody I was with. Like there's no drama and there's nothing like.
It was everybody was cool.
Yeah, it was the right crowd. It was definitely the right crowd. To like go with, and especially since like Steve-O and Isaac and Herman, like Wheat, like those are like my friends. Like,
See how I remembered Wheat? So shout out Wheat.
Shout out to Wheat.
Extra fucking shout out to Wheat
From Tour.
Yeah,
It's near Paris.
Here, I'm gonna let Herman sit right here, and you're gonna keep going.
Am I?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the restroom real quick.
Cool.
Herman,
And then I'll jump out when you come back. Then.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Yeah.
No,
I
but
got to go.
to continue on that, like those are like people like I would choose to hang out with in like outside of work.
Yeah.
So like I was really comfortable. Like I mean, I spent every single day of the week with Herman. So traveling like on like a flight or on the ocean, like waking
this
up.
was a different one for you too this time because you were there
It was
as the ambassador and the founder of your own brand, out of your dad's sort of umbrella, right? And you had business meetings and you had other things going on. What was that like to even have those conversations and where you're going to take the brand?
It gave me a lot of confidence, man, because I feel like I know my brand and I know myself so much that we work a lot with me and Herman, like we work with Bobby like all the time, but we had to like put that towards a brand and like we had to work for our brand, and like you work every single day outside of the Philippines to like get to a point like this, right? So when you sit in these meetings, you have that confidence, and then you're able to like sit in design meetings, like tell them what you want, tell them what you don't want. You know, I felt like I walked out of every single one of those meetings like super competent, super like I just won. Like,
nice.
Not like I obviously like, didn't win anything, but I feel like that same victory energy. Like,
right.
From those meetings, did you learn anything that you can bring back here?
Yeah,
like from their point of view, you know what I mean?
I realized like there was
because they were probably asking you questions, you know.
Yeah,
so,
I realized my worth a little bit more.
Yeah,
like I got back and immediately shout out Ophelia Wabbit. Like we're setting up an event January 21st here at the lower left. Like she's like, hey, like you're doing great out there. Like you need to do something when you get home because like you've been doing this for 10 years. And so like we're going to have like a big event. And I learned that you could bring all these cultures together to represent one thing, you know? So we're going to have music and we're going to have all the brands that we went out with. Like, music, yeah.
What about you, Herman? You were like Herman Destino in the house. Yeah. My boy out there, he's the founder, the artist,
father,
the model of his own brand.
Oh yeah, that I will say that was the only uncomfortable thing was having a model for the silk, and I don't know how Mr. Destino felt, but damn.
Yeah, what was that like? What would you like? That was your first time in a PI?
Nah, it was the third time there, but it was like the first time I ever go to like Dutdutan to the event and all that. Like, it was crazy. I had the opportunity to go there like 2 other times, like to work with the design team, like from Tribal. But yeah, it was like a completely different trip, man. Like it was.
What was it like seeing your brand like on the big screen, big ass billboard in the
rock
show
bands?
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was a trip to me. Like I never like imagined something like that, and just like being able to see it, really like life changing, man. For sure.
Did it like Isaac was saying earlier? It kind of like motivated him to do more. Is it?
Yeah, same thing, man. Like after like seeing how they work over there, like the potential it has, like to grow even more. Like you just want to like get back and like start working on new stuff, you know.
I think I told Herman, like I looked at him, I was like, "Yo, we gotta get our ass in gear." Like, I was like, "We gotta stop fucking around." Like from this point on, like everything we do, we gotta really do it, and like that way people out here know, because they're gonna see it on Instagram. Okay, cool, that's in the Philippines, but like we gotta show like we're hungry. Like we're not like you guys could have your brand out here, but like we're gonna move a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like we've been moving a little bit different. That's how we got here.
You guys, Philippines is big in skateboarding now. They're following skateboarding hard now. more
Yeah.
than ever. You're showing me the dude who made a skateboard out of everything.
Yeah.
You know, you have a love for skateboarding yourself,
Yeah,
a deep
for
love for
sure.
skateboarding. Do you see Destino being that brand, like that's in the skate scene strong?
I hope, man, like that'd be like super cool, man. Like that's something I really want to push.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be like
some
great, man.
Kids from Tondo that skate sick.
Yeah,
but
man, that'd be like
got
amazing.
$0 in their pocket, 0 pesos in their pocket,
Yep.
but they could.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Podcast about me, you know? Podcast about me.
Oh, it's time. So time for me to get out of my seat.
I'm gonna let my friend Tim jump on this. It's been great, y'all. I can't wait to go to next year because you know we're going to next year.
we gotta go
I set it
back.
up. I told Dondi already.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm already. I got my itinerary already.
Yeah. So yeah, but he'll find your cell phone for you. If you
He'll find my cell phone. Yeah. He'll find anything for you if you.
Everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, didn't
everything.
Isaac broke his cell phone. He got the fake iPhone.
Instantly.
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah, man.
What? No
They
way.
just
Yeah,
make it
I think
happen.
it jumped in the water. Oh no, listen. It might have been my fault, but like a little bit. But like I told him the iPhones could go underwater, and then he tried to film the fish.
And with his
Oh,
iPhone,
you're good. You're good.
I've taken my iPhone in the ocean water. It survived.
Yeah.
Maybe it had like a crack or something like that.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
it might have had a crack or something on it.
Yeah, I think it did have a crack.
That's the worst. You're like in a foreign country and then you don't have your phone. Like, what are you gonna do? But
Yeah.
Dondi
Yeah.
comes to the rescue.
Yeah.
Gets the
The aftermarket
the
iPhone,
after yeah.
the J
Gets
phone,
the my phone.
the my phone,
Yeah.
our phone.
At the show, they were saying that they had like these walls, right, with your
Right.
guys' brands, and
Yeah.
the people were able to take photos and all
Right.
that.
Yeah.
What did you guys see? Like people like rocking your shirts? That,
Oh, yeah.
like
Yeah.
out. Yeah. What was that like? Because like here, you know, I rock both you guys' shirts.
Appreciate it.
You know,
Thanks, man.
but I know you guys. You guys know me.
Yeah.
Like,
Here I
somebody-
feel like nobody I feel like I make the sales, but I'm like, no one actually wears this shit.
So what was it like halfway around the world seeing your shit like or your brand?
Yeah, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you don't even believe it, you know, at first. Like, I see like everybody wearing tribal over there. Like,
Yeah.
I've been like used to that, but just seeing people, like, I just turn around, see a guy wearing like one of my shirts.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's crazy, man. Like, it's awesome to see that.
I would have been like, how the fuck did you get that?
Yeah.
It was cool. Like during the event, like I kind of like get antisocial, like a little bit.
Yeah, like your dad.
Yeah, like so. Right. So we were kicking in the bag, like Herman and I, just chilling, eating a lot. But then like I would get tagged in a bunch of stuff, and I was like, really,
Yeah.
like that's so cool. And then like it's all different types of people. Like it's like guys that are fully tattooed. It's like the younger kids.
Yeah.
It's like the bands. Like it's really everybody. It's super cool. It's super cool. Like
Yeah.
that's the only way I could explain it.
So the show, they were saying that the music was like super loud.
Tight.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
But there's you know it's people dig that shit out there.
Yeah.
And I think it's more than that. I'm really excited that they're starting to bring in some hip hop because I've been trying to push for some hip hop. Like
why do you think they haven't? It's just not.
that's the market out there is
That's
just
what's
like
not hip hop.
It's called astig. It's like they're really into metal and
Oh,
hardcore.
okay.
But there's some great bands out there too.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Chunkies.
Yeah. Chunky.
The Chunkies?
Yeah, the Chunkies.
Chunky.
Those are the homies out there. It's kind of like a
Greyhound. Arcadia.
rock, yeah.
Sadie.
yeah.
Rabona.
Yeah. See, Isaac already
But-
he met a lot of the bands.
But like
and he-
those like they become like friends because
Yeah.
like you're there and you guys we connected and like they show so much love and respect. Like that's what I keep telling like my family, my friends, like it's respect out there, but also like these guys fucking shred. Like they're so sick.
They do. They're talented musicians. They were good, huh?
Yeah, man. It was like amazing, man. Like just everything. Like you see that stage, man. It's like a, you know, like
You're waiting
everything
for
world
Metallica
class,
to
Like-
man.
like-
Yeah, exactly,
like
man.
Super
Like-
Bowl status.
I'm waiting
Yeah.
for Bobo to
Take
walk
it.
on.
Like anybody could play that stage, man. Like big bands could be right there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the whole podcast people, which is like production.
Yeah,
That production was fucking. It was insane. Tim just walked in, but he wouldn't come in. Tim was out there with
Oh,
us,
he walked in.
but he wouldn't get on the mic. Huh?
No, it's all good. But I think that if you were to tell any band here, hey, this Saturday, you're gonna play in front of 10,000 people at a convention. Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? 10,000 people, but like there, it's just like those people are just shredding, like full confidence, like. It's sick. There's nothing like it.
I want to get Julian out there next year because Julian just to do like a mashup to show him how you can mash rock and hip hop.
Yeah.
Like to know so because they would love like Limp Bizkit and Korn and Linkin Park, and I don't know if they recognize it. That's rap rock.
Yeah.
You know, that's a blend of how that was inspired by hip hop, but. I think it's coming. I think it's coming, and you know, social media is making the world a lot smaller, and a lot of these bands and musicians and friends that we have out there are hip to it. You know, Ian's all about it. Ian and Benji and Ian got the big old T-star. Carlos did a huge T-star on his hand. Shout out to him, like the homie. Like he's one of the biggest rock stars in the Philippines.
I feel like they're at the breaking point right now. Like they're right there. You know, like they're so close. So just like really loving hip hop. And like there's a few artists that are really getting it, like Glock 9, obviously. Like I feel like those guys are like just so close to like breaking the boundary of hip hop and rock, and like really if someone out there could just do it really well.
It was a trip. Herman, what was the trippiest thing on the whole trip and your favorite day or your favorite time out there?
I mean, just like walking into the convention was like a trip to me, man. Like just seeing how big the convention is, like how you have like 10,000 persons in there, like every like genre of music, and everybody has like a tribal shirt or like one of our shirts, like. You know, like the security people, everybody, man. Like, to me, that was crazy. Going to like a market, like to the fish market, and seeing like tribal there, like anywhere, man. Like, it was a trip. But everything was super cool, man.
And in a couple years, it'll be Destino out there too, if everything goes as planned. Like that's kind of the goal. Man. And I think it's kind of like what, you know, it's what we've got a great team, so it's. And these guys both see it. They know that the ball's in their court too. Like it's okay. What are they gonna feed the market out there too? Because they went out there and they saw the market. And they see who the market is, and they see who the potential maybe new market could be for these brands. You know. But it was a trip. It's cool for me to hear their perspectives because a lot of the shit I don't see as much as AC sometimes.
And I think there's a good distinction between the three brands right here. You know, it's not the same. It's not just a regurgitation of the same, you know, thing as not only these brands but other ones. You know?
Did Armand get introduced as Destino?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it because I had stepped out. There's a lot going on downstairs. Is there anything you guys want to add or say?
I mean, just like, you know, thank you, Bobby. Thank everybody from the Philippines, like, to, like, doing all this, you know, like, just, like, seeing our stuff, like, in another country, like, in the store, like, having our, like, setup there, like, our wall, like, with our product, like.
You see the second store is almost done. They're working on that, too. So what's your IG for Destino for all the listeners?
It's DSTNO_CO. Destino_CO.
Okay, Isaac?
Oh, it's at the Silk Cloud Co. All one word. At the Silk Cloud Co.
Okay. Johnny?
Silk Cloud Co.
Sweats.
It's also
Johnny/Sweats. Nah. But yeah, that's it. I mean, this was an amazing trip. One more question for Herman before. So that was the trip. Real quick, what'd you think of Boracay?
Sick, man. Love it.
Right?
Yeah. The beach, the island hopping we did, like crazy, man. Beautiful.
Isaac, this was your second time to the Philippines. What about you? What'd you think? You had never been to Boracay.
No, but my favorite part about that part was I like fish a lot, like seeing fish.
Looking for Nemo?
Not dead fish.
No.
Snorkeling.
No, like I was a little bit nervous and I couldn't hold you, but
because you haven't done that before.
Well, not in the Philippines.
And you're like in the middle of nowhere, right? Like
but also I didn't know. Like I've been snorkeling in Catalina. I know nothing's gonna hurt me out there. you know, we got the Garibaldi, but I don't know what they got out there. I thought there was gonna be some type of aggressive shark, maybe an aggressive fish. I know. Rest in peace, Steve Irwin. But like, I don't know. I went into there and I came up, I was like, oh shit, they got the fish in black. like I was tripping.
Yeah, there's some crazy reefs out there. And
also,
take us to the spots.
Yeah, Bobby and I got the massage, like father and son experience, and it was really relaxing. And I think it was like relax a little bit, but also like tomorrow you gotta go work.
Yeah, when we got back, I mean, the three of us, we stayed. Everybody took off, and came home, but we stayed for another 2 or 3 nights just to work on the brands and to really like, we put in a lot of work, like, and that's what's so cool about them is they take care of you, you work, take care of you again, and then you work, and then we were out. But shout out to that whole crew, man.
Yeah, thank you so much.
About them,
they're great.
About that whole crew out there, and we hope to see them out here. And last time they were out here, it was just a crazy busy time for us. It was during Street Legacy, so I wish I would have had more time to really, dig in and do more stuff with them. But hopefully next time. But thanks for making time today, Johnny. It's Black Friday here, and I appreciate you coming by. That's right. I know. Why is it got to be black? Why can't it be brown? But no. But we're right here, man. I'm gonna close this out. Lower Left Podcast, right here. Thanks, Isaac. Thanks, Herman.
Thanks, Bobby.
Everybody else.
Thank you.
Thanks, Billy. Billy the Kid, Carlos Macias, Steve-O, Uncle Tone, Tim, who didn't want to talk, and
Steve-O.
Steve-O. I said, yeah, Steve-O. And shout out Wheat one more time. Shout out Wiki.
Yeah.
Wiki, the boss. Thanks for everything. We appreciate you. Just the whole crew out there.
Yeah.
But
too many
Tribal,
names, but
Tribal Philippines, man. Like, shout out to them and thanks for everything. Lower Left Podcast, 17th Island, San Diego, California. I'm Bobby Tribal, Johnny Sweats. We're out.